Hi everyone and welcome to Linger Longer with Books. My name's Catherine and in this week's video I'm going to be talking through and sharing some of my best secondhand buys. So let's go take a look. Okay, so I've picked a handful. I've got 5 titles here on my lap, so I'll just go through them as swiftly as I can. First up is for the crime thriller murder fans out there. It's The Girl Who Died by Ragnar, Jonasson, or Johansson. I'm really sorry if I've mispronounced that, Ragnar. I'm a big fan of Ragnar's writing. I've read several of his novels. This book I managed to pick up in a local library sale as part of a bundle which cost just over £5, so I probably paid the equivalent of well under £1 for this hardback edition, and it just so happens that when I got it home I realised that it's actually signed and dedicated to someone, so that was an even bigger surprise. But I'll just share the blurb for everyone's benefit out there if you haven't heard of this particular story. So it says, teacher wanted at the edge of the world. Una knows she is struggling to deal with her father's sudden tragic suicide. She spends her nights drinking alone in Reykjavik, stricken with thoughts that she might one day follow in his footsteps. So when she sees an advert seeking a teacher for 2 girls in the tiny village of Skala, population of 10 on the storm-battered north coast of the island, she sees it as a chance to escape. But once she arrives, Una quickly realises nothing in city life has prepared her for this. The villagers are unfriendly, the weather is bleak, and from the creaky attic bedroom of the old house where she's living, she's convinced she hears the ghostly sound of singing. Una worries that she's losing her mind, and then, just before midwinter, a young girl from the village is found dead, and Una fears that one of the villagers has blood on their hands. So that sounds like a perfect read. I couldn't believe that I found it. I think it's one of Ragnar's latest novels to be published. So I was chuffed to find that. It's a hardback, it's in brilliant condition. So there you go, that's my first best secondhand buy that I'm sharing with you. Next on the book pile on my lap is Trifles Need Not Apply by Camilla Bruce. And I'm a big fan of historical fiction, especially when it's rooted in kind of real life accounts and figures. So this is got the sort of subheadline of "Man shall inherit the earth unless she kills him first." First off, I just love the dust jacket on here. It's like an old paper of the time. And if I just look inside the sleeve, I'll just share with you a little bit about what this is like and see if it actually piques your interest. So Bella Sorensen loves men. She loves them to death. Early in life, Bella Sorensen discovers the world is made only for men. They own everything, jobs, property, wives. But Bella understands what few others do. Where women are concerned, men are weak. A woman unhampered by scruples can take from them what she wants, and so Bella sets out to prove to the world that a woman can be just as ruthless, black-hearted and single-minded as any man. It's based on the true story of Belle Gunness, whose violent deeds began in Chicago in 1900. It's a novelistic tour de force exploring one woman's determination to pay men back for all they have taken. And I can safely say, it's a brilliant read. It's really engrossing. It totally puts you in Bella's time and place, obviously threading through the facts that Camilla researched and knows about Belle. So I would highly recommend this. I actually found this copy in a charity shop for £1.99. I tend to leave the stickers on the back so it can remind me where I bought them and how much for. The extra bonus, as you can see, it's a signed edition by the author. It looks like this originally came from Waterstones, but isn't that lovely to have a signed plate inside? And just as I was saying about the old-fashioned kind of newspaper, the printed newspaper reports, look at the inside. Isn't that gorgeous? It really places the book in the early 20th century of when Belle was living. So yeah, it's it is a really roller coaster of a read. It's without giving any sort of spoiler details away, it's quite bloodthirsty, not for the faint-hearted of readers out there if you're a little bit squeamish, but yeah, I do highly recommend this one. Next up on my pile here is Ramses, the Son of the Light by Jacq. This is quite a recent purchase that I can tell from the sticker on the back. It's from Oxfam and I got it for £1.99. I was really chuffed to find this in a local charity shop. Because this is quite an old series, I would say from the late 90s, early noughties, published by Simon & Schuster. But as you can see, this is like a large trade paperback size. It's in brilliant condition. The spine isn't even broken. So I knew that I had to pick this up, and it is the first in the series, so I will be hunting down the rest of these. I did actually buy, when I was in Chapters Books in Dublin recently, I bought Under the Western Acacia, which is the final one. So I've got volume 2, 3 and 4 to seek out and get my mitts on. But this, obviously given away by the cover design, tells the tale of Ramses from ancient Egyptian times. The sort of the pharaoh, the sort of the period that he was living and ruling in, probably the kind of the mayhem and the politics and the life that he experienced, because it was quite a brutal time in order to survive. People were trying to kind of trump one another, and it was all about power and the how power was perceived through jewels, how the society were big believers in the afterlife. They were really governed by pharaohs, and really held fast to the gods and the afterlife and all of those different factors. So I'm really looking forward to starting this series. I haven't yet, but I'm really looking forward to getting to that very soon. But it's probably going to be on my 2025 list, if I'm honest. I don't think I'll get to it this year, as I'm trying to be loyal to my current TBR, but watch out for that one. I just thought it was a really excellent buy for under £2. The next two titles almost come as a pair because they're within a related sort of series, and that is a poem for every day of the year and a poet for every day of the year, both edited by Allie Eseri. I have seen these beautiful books for quite a long time in bookshops. Originally, they're probably nearer to £20 or £25. But when I was recently staying overnight for a friend's birthday in Basingstoke, I headed into one of the local charity shops and I found these copies both for £2 each. You can see the stickers there, and you can see that they're both in excellent condition. I think they've obviously been given to someone and they've obviously changed their minds or kind of not thumbed through them at all. So I just thought that they were brilliant to have on my shelves to kind of dip in and out of for many sort of years to come, really. I think they will be keepsakes, and they're just beautiful. I think there's a few more in this series. Can't quite recall the titles of them, but they're all kind of themed, understandably, to take you through every year, and for you to kind of revisit them when you want to. Obviously, they're not set to a particular year itself. It's just obviously through each 365-day cycle. So there's those. So all in all, if I counted these 5, that's 2, 4, 6. That's under £6. That's under 8 total. So all of these 5 books for well under £10. I just love finding brilliant conditioned books, whether it's paperbacks, hardbacks, in charity shops or in unexpected places like library sales. you sort of tend to think that books will be battered and in really bad condition, but when you actually find fantastic copies that you can obviously take home and keep for yourself, I think that is one of the best feelings, other than obviously borrowing books from your local library or buying them from the bookshops originally yourself. Obviously you're giving these a second home, as well as buying books new from various different places as well. So there you have it. These are the 5 that I'm sharing with you this week. I might do another video on the one time I was in a local charity shop and I spotted a row of Agatha Christie hardback editions. So I literally, and quite embarrassingly, although I shouldn't have felt that, I just emptied the shelf of all of these Agatha Christie's and took them home. So I think I'll do a separate video on those quite soon, because they were another sort of brilliant bundle of secondhand buys. But yeah, I think if you have, if you've watched this far, first off, thank you very much. Secondly, if you are out there, let me know what you think of any of these books, if you've read any of them already and what you think. And if if you let me know that you're out there by sharing a black heart in honour of Belle Gunness, because I think she's got a pretty black heart, if her heart was to be a colour, in terms of the intensity of her emotions and the dark deeds she commits. That would be fantastic. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a great weekend of reading. This will go out tomorrow, which is Monday morning. I hope you've got a lovely week of reading ahead. I'm heading off on holiday tomorrow, so I've packed my suitcase with just 3 books for the week, 1 to take in my hand luggage and 2 to take in my suitcase. I think that's quite a realistic number for a week, because I am obviously planning to talk to my family while I'm there and not being a complete book hermit, an antisocial thing. So yeah, thank you very much, like I said, and I shall see you next week for more bookish shenanigans. That's not easy to say. I think I should stop talking now, but take care and see you later. Bye.